Om Namo Loe Saratrikavarti Aryantanam. Om Namo Loe Saratrikavarti Siddhanam. Om Namo Loe Saratrikavarti Haryanam. Om Namo Loe Saratrikavarti Ujjayanam. Om Namo Loe Saratrikavarti Savanam. Om Karam Bindu Sanyuktam Nityan Dhayanti Yoginam Kamadam Mokshadam Sheva. Om Karaya Namo Namah. Nama Samaysaraya Swanu Bhutya Chikasate Chitsabhavaya Bhavaya Sarva Bhavam Parachide Sarvanati Mirandanam Gnana Anjana Salakaya Chaksurun Militamya Natasme Sri Guruve Nama Tirthankaro Jagatanaja Jinano Javanta Varto Jima Samo Sarana So Javanta Varto Neti Jara Jagama Javanta Varto Namo Tirthanayakane Namo Nadane Omkara Sangaryotene Namo Te Kunda Kundane O Upakara Jinavarane Kundane Jina Kunda Dvaniyapya Aho Te Guru Ganana Aho Te Bhavati Matano Dhruva Achalane Anupamagati Pamel Sarve Siddhane Vandita Sutta Kevali Vasita Asya Prabhrata Eka Sutta Sada Arupi Jnana Darasanam Kare Kanyanyate Jari Paramanu Matra Nati Are Jamanetrate Majagnana Nathikara Vedaka Are Jani Maja Mokshane Om Namah Siddhebhyo Om Namah Siddhebhyo Om Sri Suddhatmane Namaha. Jai Jinendra. So this is March 30th, 2016, and we are continuing our discussion on Samaysar stanza 7. Last time we were talking about toxic emotions, and we started talking on the basis of Karan-anuyog. And I think it probably raised lots of questions to everybody's mind. So we will be trying to make sure that we understand that part very well. When I said Karan-anuyog, there are actually 4 types of expositions are there. Storytelling expositions, conduct-related expositions, then the mathematically related exposition means karma-related expositions, and last is metaphysics, which is related to the pure nature of soul. So these are the 4 types of scriptures are divided into total Jain scriptures. Important of all these 4 types of scripture is that they lead ultimately to passionless state. If they don't lead it to passionless state, then they are not fulfilling the aspirant soul does not fulfill the requirement. So what we are talking in Samaysar, it is mainly from the metaphysical aspect. And that's actually highest point of our scriptures. So sometimes if it appears that this is a little bit difficult or whatever, it is true, and we don't have to get disappointed with that, because we are starting with extremely high level of those things. The Karan-anuyog means the mathematical related scripture, means the karma related scriptures are very, very precise. There is no if, and, or buts in that one. If it is like this, means it's like this. That's it. So sometimes, and it's extremely microscopic in the sense, what is this universe made up of? What is the nature of karma? What is the nature of matter? How many karmas are there? How karma gets associated with the soul? How long karma stays? How long karma? What will happen when the karma get dissociated? All those intricate things in the form of mathematics. And that's what right now we are talking, because what we are saying, let's go to the slide first. Share screen. Okay, slideshow from the current. We are talking about, we drifted to this Karan-anuyog and spiritual development stages. That means the Gunstana from this slide: soul with and without toxic emotions, soul with and without passion, soul with and without kashai. And so that's a new word came up to us: toxic emotion, kashai, and passions, etc. So we'll quickly go through this slide. I'll just minimize this one first. Okay. So with toxic emotion means the transmigratory soul with toxic emotion. That means with kashai, he is up to 1 to 10th gunsthanak. Then comes the next guy. Without toxic emotion means passionless state of omniscient Lord and liberated soul, 13 and 14 gunsthanak, spiritual development states. Therefore, he means the one who is in 13th and 14th gunsthanak is having absence of any inclination of attachment at all. Inclination of attachment is in a varieties of degree depending on what gunsthanak its soul is. What levels progress, spiritual progress of a person is, that decides how much inclination of attachment and aversion he has it. And that decides his level of spiritual development state, means gunsthanak. He means this omniscient Lord knows the division. Our main focus on the 7th stanza is divisional aspect of our attribute and indivisibility nature of the attributes. Those are our central point in the 7th stanza. So now what are we saying? That when there is omniscient Lord means he has no inclination of attachment and aversion, means he has no toxic emotions, and this kind of soul knows all the attributes in the divisional aspect as well as in the indivisible aspect. Veda bethi gunone jane che. Omniscient Lord and Siddha Bhagwan, liberated soul, they perceive the attributes within in the form of division also and indivisibility also. The person who is on the first spiritual development stage, person who is on first sthanak, he or she perceives the attributes in the divisional aspect only. This is the knowledge attribute, this is the conduct attribute, this is the faith attribute, this is eternal existence attribute, this is substancehood attribute. Like that he knows in the divisional aspect. But when the soul achieves the liberation or omniscience and beyond omniscience, that's a 13th spiritual development stage, 13 gunsthanak, keval gnani, sayogi kevali, and 14 gunsthanak is ayogi kevali, and beyond that is a liberated soul. These entities, they know the divisional aspect of attribute as well as indivisible aspect of the attribute. By knowing this way, this omniscient Lord does not have any rag, does not have any inclination of attachment and aversion, but because his conduct attribute is shining perfectly, that means his total absence of toxic emotions, total absence of all the kashais. Okay? So In the rest of the soul means anything up to 10th or up to 10th Gunsthana, rest of the souls with reflective thoughts, the attention is focused on the divisional aspect. And that's why there is a inclination of attachment is present. These reflective thoughts are the reason for transmigratory soul to have rag, and that's why he keeps on taking birth and death in the transmigratory cycle. So, up to the end of 10th spiritual development stage, there is presence of inclination of attachment according to the state the soul is in. This is this sentence we just presented in the previous slide. Now, when we talk about this inclination of attachment in varieties of intensity present in a soul depending on its own spiritual development stage. So I think it is very imperative for us to know a little bit about the spiritual development stage, means Gunasthana. That means we are digressing from the subject of 7th stanza right now. Okay, so now, soul and karma, soul and matter means karma, they have associative relationship. So certain way soul ends up binding karma with him. Soul by certain attitude ends up binding the karma. So what is this relationship? That's what we have to understand. And that way we'll be able to understand Gunsthana, and that way we'll be able to understand that why there is varieties of intensity of inclination of attachment in different stages. So spiritual development stage or Gunsthanak can be divided. They are created because of two things. Infatuation means moh and yog. Moh and yog are the reason that spiritual development stage, that means Gunsthanaks, are generated. Moh means infatuation remains up to 1st to 12th Gunsthanak, spiritual development stage, and yog is a 13th and 14th spiritual development stage. Yog means, there is asterisk over here, yog means vibratory activity of the space point of the soul. We have talked this one in great detail in the 6th stanza. And so again, it will come as a revisional aspect for us right now. So 1 to 12th spiritual development stage, the infatuation is responsible. 13th and 14th spiritual development stage, yog is responsible. And yog means vibratory activity of the space point of the soul. Soul is made up of innumerable space points. Atma asankhyaat pradeshno banelo che. Innumerable space points are present in the soul, and this space point keeps on vibrating continuously. This vibratory activity in the space points of the soul, and that is called yoga. We have International Yoga Day and we'll be stretching our hands and legs. That is not yoga. Then we also say man, vachan, kaya, mind, speech and bodily action is called yoga. That is not real yoga. The absolute Jainism definition of yoga is vibratory capacity of the space point of the soul. And we'll have the slide coming later on. So we'll be talking about it. So now it becomes clear to us, 1 to 12 spiritual development stage, infatuation is a reason. And 13 and 14 spiritual development stage, the yoga is responsible for that. Okay, having known that, now we go a little bit detailed. We said actually in this Tattva Sutra, it says 5 reasons for karma bondage. The 5 specific reasons are there by which soul accepts the karma to the self. Okay, so now what are those things? First is wrong faith, means mithyatva. Second is called vowlessness, means called avirati. You know, just now get familiar with the words alone. We can go little bit more detail when those subjects come. But right now, just getting our feet wet with these words. You will, when you read the chapters, you will just say avirati. What is avirati? Vowlessness. What is mithyatva? Wrong faith. The third reason is a carelessness. That is called pramad. And again, we'll define that one later on. Next one is toxic emotions, means kashai. And fifth one is called yog. So there are 5 reasons for karma bondage. Now you must be wondering why I have given different color to the yog. There is a reason for that. Because infatuation, what we talked about, infatuation means these 4 guys. Wrong faith, vowlessness, carelessness, toxic emotions, means mithyatva, avirati, pramad, kashai. They 4 combined together are called infatuation or moh. So this moh and yog, these 2 basically are the reason for karma bondage. And when we infatuation divide into subgroup, then the 5 reasons for karma bondage. And then we keep on dividing all these things further, it will become a huge things. But right now, 2 reasons, infatuation, moh, and yog are the reason for karma bondage. That means they are the reason for creating spiritual developmental stage. That means one can label who is at what spiritual state. Is it on first spiritual state, or 4th, or 5th, or 6th, or 7th, or 11th, 12th, or 13th, 14th, whatever that we will be able to do once we understand this point very well. Okay, so yes.
What is the elaboration on yoga?
I'm sorry?
What do you elaborate on yoga? This 4 I could understand, the yoga I could.
Yoga means, as we said, yoga means vibratory capacity of the space point of the soul. Soul has innumerable space point. Remember, as we said, let's take this phone, divide into 2, and further into 2, and all the things. And when the last atom comes, Jainism atom comes, in which you cannot divide into 2, and whatever that area it occupies, that's called one space point. And those kind of innumerable space points are present in the soul. This innumerable thing will also come in the association with the cosmic space. Cosmic space also has innumerable space points. Soul also has innumerable space point. If this soul has a contracting and expansion characteristic within, and that's why if the soul is in a bacterium, then soul will become contracted with its own innumerable space point. The same soul goes into the elephant's body, excuse me, then there is going to be expansion of all those innumerable space points. So there is a contractility and expandability characteristics in the as a space point, and so they can become small or big according to the body they are residing in, a transmigratory soul. So this innumerable space point in a soul, they keep on vibrating continuously in a transmigratory soul. And That is called yog. Yog means innumerable space point of the soul keeps on vibrating all the time, and that is called yog. And now when this yog is occurring into the soul with the the vibratory activity of the space point in the soul, then from principal cause, auxiliary cause relationship, means nimit nemitic sambandh, there is going to be action of speech, mind, and body occurring in the associated body that is present with the soul. So yes, in one way, yog means man, vachan, kaya, pravrutti, mind, speech, and bodily actions. But that is occurring in the physical body. And I'm the soul. What is happening in the soul at that time? There is vibratory activity occurring in the space point of the soul, and that is called yoga. Does this make sense to you? If not, we can elaborate further. Sanjay bhai?
Yeah, I understood.
Okay. So these are the reasons. And so main reason for karma bondage will be yog and moh, infatuation and yog. So these are the two reasons. Now that we come, then we just said up to 1 to 12th gunsthanak, infatuation is the reason. Now, what is this infatuation? This infatuation means there is the deluded activity occurring within me, vibhav bhav occurring within me. That is called infatuation. And when the infatuation is occurring within me, then in the matter particle, means the karma particle, certain changes will be seen. And so, to see the nature of the state of the soul, we have to take the support of the karma to understand. And that's why we have to say more means what? That means we have to say more means deluding karma, and deluding karma becomes thermometer telling me what is the state of the soul within. If I have the fever and I want to communicate that I have a fever, how can I communicate? I can say, Sanjay bhai, I have 103 degree temperature right now. And you'll say, oh my God, you are very sick. Well, no, now I took medicine, next day I have a temperature of 100 degree. Oh, very good, at least you are recovering. And third day, my temperature is 98.4. Oh, you are becoming normal. So thermometer becomes vehicle through which we can see what is my status of my body. Similarly, the karma, the presence of karma tell me, they are telling me what is happening within me, and for that we have to understand deluding karma means mohniya karma. And that's where we were last time. So now we'll go slowly again. They are divided into different parts. That deluding karma are divided into right belief deluding karma, and right belief deluding karma is divided into 3 parts: wrong belief deluding karma, right belief deluding karma, clouded right belief deluding karma, and right conduct deluding karma. So deluding karma are 2 types: right belief deluding karma, right conduct deluding karma. Darshan mohniya karma, charitra mohniya karma. This guys, darshan mohniya can be divided into 3 parts as we saw over here. And again, as I said, we don't want to go nitty-gritty, minute thing, because there is so many more things to understand in this one, and we want to go further. So right now, we will be just not going further detailing those things, because then it will open up a huge chapter that can go for days and days together. So we will just understand the hierarchy, that what is this deluding karma made up of. Monia karma nu swarup suche, that's what we have to understand. Okay, so now right belief deluding karma are 3 types that we describe. Now right conduct deluding karma are 16 types of passion, means toxic emotions, and that 16 type means infinite bondage producing karma, anantanubandhi kashay, anantanubandhi karma, partial vow preventing karma, that means it is the apratyakhani varaniya karma, total vow preventing karma, pratyakhyana varaniya karma, and perfect conduct preventing karma means sanjvalan kashay. Anantanubandhi kashay, apratyakhani varaniya kashay, pratyakhyana varaniya kashay, and sanjvalan kashay. These are the names. We have to get some familiarity with the name just to start with. Now, I said there are 16 types and I describe only 4 over here because, first let's finish this part. This is called passions, means toxic emotions, or it is called kashay. Then 9 types of no kashay, quasi-passion. And they are called laughter, etc., and sex, inclination, etc. type, and we'll just look at it later on. This passion, 16 types, means infinite bonded producing karma. Anantanubandhi kashay are 4 types: anger, deceit, ego, greed, krodh, man, maya, lobh, 4 types. Partial vow preventing passion means apratyakhani varniya kashay. They are also 4 types: anger, deceit, ego, greed, krodh, man, maya, lobh. Excuse me. Then there is a total vow preventing passions, means pratyakhyana varniya kashay, and they are also 4 types: anger, ego, deceit, ego, greed, 4 types: krodh, man, maya, lobh. And perfect conduct preventing passions, there are also 4 types: anger, deceit, ego, greed, krodh, man, maya, lobh. So 4 times 4, infinite bonded producing 4, partial vow preventing 4, total vow preventing 4, perfect conduct preventing 4. So 4 times 4 is 16. So there are 16 types of passion, 16 types of toxic emotion, 16 types of kashay. Now there are 9 types of no kashay. What are those no kashay? There are laughter, etc. 6 types, means laughter, indulgence, dissatisfaction, sorrow, fear, and disgust. And 3 types of sex inclination, means male sex inclination, female sex inclination, hermaphrodite sex inclination. So there are 3 types. So 3 and 6 are 9 over here. Kashay are 16. No kashay are 9. Combined together, they are called 25. Plus 3 or 4 right belief deluding karma, means deluding karma are totally of 28 subtypes. Having said that, last week Kathy was on the line, and I don't know whether she's online or not, but last time she was there, and she asked me that, wait a second, how come laughter could be a kashay? We put this in a quasi-passion, no kashay. What is no kashay or quasi-passion? To understand no kashay or quasi-passion, we have to understand certain example. Let's say the 2 friends, they went for stealing. One guy is actually into the house and stealing, and other guy is guarding the door to see nobody comes in. Who is actually doing the stealing? The guy in the house. What is the other guy doing? Other guy is simply helping him to complete the stealing process. Did the other guy do anything? Suppose police comes and catches. Whom he is going to catch? Police is going to catch whom? The guy who is actually stealing. The guy who is guarding, he has not done anything. He was simply helping. Quasi-passions actually are not stealing. Stealing is done by these toxic emotions or passions or kashai. Anantanumandi, Apratyakani, Pratyakani, Sanjalan, Kashai, they are the one actually doing the job. These guys, quasi-passions, are simply helping. So, laughter, indulgence, dissatisfaction, sorrow, fear, disgust, by themselves, they don't do anything. But if this laughter, I have it, is associated with an anger, deceit, ego, greed of any of this kind, then there is going to be karma bondage. If simply you have the innocence laughter, that does not bind any karma. So these quasi-passions are very, it's easy, we have to understand what exactly they do it. By themselves, they can't do anything, but when they are associated with the passions, associated with the Anantanumadi, Apratyakani, Pratyakani, Sanjvalan, Kashai, then there is karma bondage occurs. For example, my body, physical body is not the reason for karma bondage, but my infatuation, my liking, my increase of attachment towards my body is the reason for karma bondage for me. Once again, physical body is a material particle, and material particle itself is not the reason for karma bondage, but me as a soul, when I put my ownership on the body, this is my body, I am dark, I am white, I am yellow, I am black, I am healthy, I am diseased, all this kind of feeling that I have it, when I put ownership of my ownership on the body, then there is going to be karma bondage. The shining example that Rishabdev to Mahavir Swami, 24 Tirthankaras, when they are on 13th Gunsthana, 13th spiritual developmental stage, at that time they have the physical body, but they don't have any inclination of attachment at all, because they have destroyed their deluding karma completely. So all these things are not present in the omniscient Lord, and that's why having body, he does not have any karma bondage. But when I have the body, I have my attachment to the body, I have my delusion, I have my deluding capacity, I have my ownership on this physical body. That's why I do the karma bondage. Same way here, quasi-passions, they themselves are not going to do anything, but when they are associated with the passions, then there is going to be karma bondage. So those are the things that we have to keep in mind. This was Kathy raised the question last week, and I hope she is on the line, she understands. If not, then I'll talk to her later on. Okay, having said that, if we have some general schema in our mind right now on this slide, then we go next thing. Now we have to see, remember, we said Moh and Yog. So this is Moh, deluding karma is producing influence of attachment or infatuation within me. So now we have to see what these guys are doing to me. Now, same thing over here, what we had it before. And all this 28, the 3 from here, 16 from here, 9 from here, they all are present within me. That means I'm on first spiritual development stage, because all the parts of deluding karma are present within me, and I'm on first gunsthanak. So in first gunsthanak, I have everything present within me. As long as I'm on first gunsthanak, listen carefully, as long as I'm on first gunsthanak, every moment, every samay, I keep on binding this deluding karma, and they keep on attaching to my soul day in and day out, samay after samay, moment after moment after moment after moment. If I'm awake or I'm sleepy, I'm an animal, I'm a heavenly soul, I'm an infernal soul, I'm a plant, whatever way I am in, every moment, every moment, I keep on binding karma of this deluding type within me, because I'm on first spiritual development stage. So imagine, blink of an eye has an innumerable time units. And in those innumerable time units, I'm binding this deluding karma every moment. How long am I existing? Since time infinite. So how many time units pass by? You start calculating in your mind. I kept on binding those karma. I keep on binding this karma. And if I don't understand the hierarchy, I will keep on binding this karma in future also. But Acharya Bhagavan says, you have come to me and I explained to you. Now it's your duty to proceed further to get out of this cycle of karmic bondage. The trigger is in your hand. So you can either be in deluded state or in pure state, is your entire liking. So responsibility Acharya Bhagavan puts on us, me, us, that I am responsible for my deeds. And because of my deeds, I'm responsible. That's why I keep on binding this deluding karma moment after moment, samay after samay after samay after samay, since time infinite in the past and right now. Now, same picture, but now Sadguru gave me the Omniscient Lord's message. I read Sadguru, who has experienced his real nature of the soul, he also told us in the form of scriptures. Now that I understood who am I, what is my nature, what can I do to get out of this misery, and when I understand that part, and now I direct my attention from alien objects and bring it to my eternal true nature of the self. Remember, faith attribute has two possibilities only: to have faith on the alien object of the universe, or to have excuse me, or to have faith directed to myself. So now the Sri Guru has given me advice. I read the scripture, I understood what he tells me, I question myself, I got the answer myself, and now I made the absolute decision that I'm going to have my faith attribute gets directed to me. When I do that, then changes occurs within me. What is happening? From karma perspective, I have right belief deluding karma. These three guys are gone from me. And at the same time, infinite bonded producing four guys are gone from me. These are three, these are four, anger, disego, greed, four, and wrong belief, right belief deluding, and clouded right belief deluding. So 7 subtypes of karma from these 28 subtypes are gone from me when I direct faith to my eternal soul substance. And that means at this time, I am on the fourth spiritual development stage, which is called Samyak Darshan. What did I do? I did my own personal effort. First, I gathered information. Then I digested on it. Then I kept on reciting on it. Then I kept on meditating on it. And then I went into primary abstract comprehension, means nirvikalpta. When I went in nirvikalp state, primary abstract comprehension, then at that time, karma, what did karma show? They said, we 7 guys have no reason to hang around here, so we'll dissipate from you.
Kirit uncle?
Yes.
In one lifetime, in the same lifetime, is this permanent?
Yeah, now, is it permanent or temporary? That is it could be 3 possibilities are there. It could be transient for antarmurat, means very momentarily only, or it could be having something still continues and my Samyak Darshan continues. And third thing is called Kshaik Samkit, in which all these 7 guys are permanently gone. In the first phase, first thing is called Upsam Samyak Darshan, means suppression of the karma, and that way I have the right belief, which lasts only for less than 48 minutes. Actually, it's called Antarmurat, means momentarily only. So I get experience of myself momentarily. That experience, momentary experience, once it's over, either I can go back to deluding karma, first gunsthanak, or I can continue on the fourth gunsthanak with, out of the 7 guys gone, only right belief deluding karma are present, and the 6 guys, one wrong belief, clouded right belief, and these 4 guys are gone forever. That's called Kshayopsham Samkit.
Kirit uncle?
Yeah.
In Upshamik Samkit, is Anantanubandhi permanently gone?
Only for that 40 Antarmurat.
Oh, so then after that Antarmurat, then Anantanubandhi is back.
Well, now, as I said, after that suppression is only for Antarmurat, right? That we understood. That suppression is there for Antarmurat. So for that momentary time, I have experiencing of my soul. Okay, now that momentary time is over, and this karma comes in fruition. And at that time, those karma are divided into 3 parts. The fruition of the karma occurring, they get divided into 3 parts. If the wrong belief karma becomes prominent, then I go to first gunsthanak. If clouded right belief karma becomes prominent, I go to second gunsthanak. I'm sorry, 1 second, hold it. And if the right belief deluding karma are in fruition at the time, becomes prominent, then it becomes Kshayapsham Samyak Darshan, which lasts for a long, long time. And if all those things are, instead of suppression, they have been eliminated completely, then it's called Kshaik Samyak Darshan.
Okay, uncle, that's not my question. Here's my question.
Yes.
When you have Upshamik Samyak Darshan, let's say you have Upshamik Samyak Darshan, and
Yes.
it's lasted for 47 minutes and 59 seconds.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Then it's gone.
Yes.
And let's say you were now either in Gunstan 1, Gunstan 2, or Gunstan 3.
Yes.
Here's my question. After 47:59, on that 48th second, that 48th minute, or 48 minute and 1 second and onwards,
Yes.
are you accumulating Anantanubandhi Kasai?
See, if that's some, number one, but there is a things that we have to understand, that when we say Antarmurat, Antarmurat is lowest side is 1 hourly plus 1 samay, which is extremely minuscule time. Let's put it that way. And then highest possible time is 48 minutes minus 1 samay. So this is the range of Antarmurat. When the first time Samyak Darshan occurs, it is lower end. It is momentary experience and then it's gone. So momentarily time, the karma gets suppressed, and at the time I have the nirvikalpta, I experience myself, and that is called Samyak Darshan, and it remains momentary only. It does not remain for 47 minutes and 59 seconds, something like that.
Okay, so then I understand what you're saying. So, Kirit, are you saying that only when you are in the middle of self-experience,
yes,
is Anantanubandhi Samvar, Anantanubandhi Asrav done?
Yes. But no, not done. They are suppressed. They are suppressed.
Okay, no, let me. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I used the wrong word. For the amount of samays that you are in self-experience,
yes,
on the fourth Gunsthanak, only during that period of time is Anantanubandhi Asrav temporarily suspended.
Yes.
Thank you.
They are suspended. And then they will come in the fruition depending on what action I'm taking thereafter. I'm sorry, there's somebody else was talking.
Okay, so that means that after that temporary Antarmurat is ended, then Anantanubandhi Asrav is resumed.
It resumes if my wrong belief deleting karma becomes prominent. Remember, when once you come out of this self-experiencing phase, at the time, the 1, 2, 3, or these guys, one of them becomes prominent. So wrong belief becomes prominent. I go to first Gunsthana, and then infinite bonded producing karma gets accumulated again. If only right belief deleting karma comes in picture, then it becomes Sharpsam Samkit, and these guys are they are gone, completely gone. Clouded right belief is a very short time, and then again, ultimately, the soul ends up going to wrong belief. So this one or this one, when it comes in fruition, becomes strong, then infinite bonded producing karma resumes the activity.
So Kiranko, then the second one, right belief, is that Samyak Mithyatva?
No, it's called, yeah, it's Samyak Mithyatva, or that means out of these 3 guys and these 4 guys, out of 7, 6 are gone, and only right belief deleting karma just keeps on giving fruition. And it is what happens at the time. Scripture describes that there are very, very, very subtle changes are there in the soul that is very difficult for somebody else to explain and all the things. But it is this Samyak Darshan will continue. It's called Kshayapsam Samyak Darshan. So right belief deleting karma remaining prominent, everything else is gone. It's called Kshayapsam Samyak Darshan.
So Kiranko, that means that if you have Samyak Mithyatva active, you are the fourth Gunstha?
No. Samyak Mithyatva, sorry. Samyak Mithyatva means clouded right belief. This mixture is over here.
Okay, so the first one is Mithyatva, the third one is Samyak Mithyatva. What is the second one then?
It's a Samyak Mithyatva. This is the, I'm sorry, let's put the real. Wrong belief means Mithyatva. Right belief is Samyaktva, and this is called mixed, Samyaktva, Mithyatva.
Okay, so the second was Samyaktva.
Yes.
Okay, so when you are experiencing, or when you are in the midst of the uday of Samyaktva, which is the second box, that means you're also in the fourth Gunsthana, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And you can be in 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th also. You can be see, remember, what we are talking right now what we are taking right now is Samyaktva only. Now, when we go onto the section of Samyaktva by itself, then there is a, we will have to go through those things. Atmana Panch Bhav, 5 inclinations of the soul, that we'll have to take a separate topic for that, in which we can just say Samyaktva is Samyaktva, but it could be Upsam Samyaktva, transiently lasting, or Kshapsam Samyaktva, lasting for longer time, but it will come to an end, and Kshayik Samyaktva, which lasts forever. Once it's there, it never goes away. Your Kshayik Samyaktva in a 4th Gunsthana is the same as Siddha Bhagwan Kshayik Samyaktva.
Kirit uncle, when you're experiencing Samyaktva, which I guess is Kshayopshamik Samyak Darshan, box number 2, is that of a long duration, or can you also?
It is long duration, and it lasts for sometimes days, weeks, months, and years, or several lives. It can continue.
Okay.
But ultimately, that will also go away, and then Kshayik Samyaktva will be converted. So Kshayik Samyaktva gets converted ultimately from the Kshapsam Samyaktva, and Kshayik Samyaktva remains forever once it starts.
Okay, so Kshayik Samyaktva is when all 3 of those purple boxes is gone, correct?
Yes, they are gone forever.
All 3. Okay.
They are eliminated completely. All the 7 guys completely. Yeah. So first time when you get first time the soul gets the Samyaktva, that is always of Upsham Samyaktva, suppression types. With last.
Kirit uncle, આપણે સેકન્ડ અને થર્ડ ગુણસ્થાનકની વ્યાખ્યા શું છે? આ તો ચોથા ગુણસ્થાનક.
ગુણસ્થાનકમાં શું છે કે there is the rise of the infinite bonded producing passions are occurring, but they are not completely all the time occurring. I mean, it is lasting so minuscule time. So 4th Gunsthana to falling to 3rd, to falling to 2nd, to coming to 1. So that thing happens in a momentarily very fast. So 3rd and 2nd Gunsthana occurs only at the time of falling down.
આપણી જે સમજણ હોય, the right belief, મિથ્યાત્વ ગયું, ધર્મ આપણને સમજણ પડી, આપણને સમજ પડી કે આ વ્યવહારની અંદર જે જીવીએ છે બરાબર નથી, કે આ બરોબર નથી ને આમ કરવાનું યોગ્ય નથી. So right belief તરફ આપણે ચાલવા लाग्યા, અને infinite bondage એટલે તીવ્ર કષાય હોય છે, infinite bondage, એ આપણે એટલે we are able to suppress that. When it occurs, we suppress it. What happens? What stage is that jeev there at that point?
Okay. See, we have to be very careful of use of words, because remember, when I am in the routine life, and let's say I'm very calm and cool and collective guy and talk only about scripture, and I talk about puja, bhakti, swadhyay. I don't think anything bad, for example. That is called my milder types of passion. My anger is milder, deceit is milder, ego is milder, greed is mild. Means these 4 passions are present within me, but if I'm not looking angry right now, maybe my deceitful nature is prominent, ego is prominent, or greed is prominent. So one of the 4 is always prominent within me. I'm greedy within me, or I have the ego within me. So when 5 people are sitting and I'm entering, why they did not acknowledge me? So my ego is hurting at that time. I could be very cool, collective, calm guy, but within me, my ego is hurting me. My greed, I want to have this, I want to have this, I want to have that possessions, and all that kind of attention span that I have it, that's called greed. So even in normal life, I may make them kind of less prominent, but when I suppress them completely, now let me just tell you, suppress means what? You take the dirty water, and you put alum, you put fatakdi inside. Then all the garbage sits down and you have the clear water on the top. This clear water on the top is so pure that you can drink also. It was muddy water to start with, but now you can drink because it's pure, because all the garbage sat down. Sat down means it is still within water, but I'm just taking the upper part only. Same way, when there is suppression of the karma occurs, upsam samkit occurs, that's the first time that samyak darshan occurs, it occurs in that way. And at that time, the karma are made to get suppressed. These seven guys are the main reason that you make them suppressed for the time being. Suppressed for the time being. And that's the purity of the water, purity of the soul above is called upsam samyak darshan. You shake that water, again it becomes dirty. So this is the simile we can give from the example that what is upsam samyak darshan means. The kshapsam samyak darshan means almost pure water. Everything is taken out. But teeny tiny garbage is still there. Teeny tiny, so subtle that it looks like completely pure water, but there is teeny tiny subtle things are present. That's called kshapsam samyak. And kshaik samkit means pure water, no garbage of any kind at all within. Everything is taken out.
So saik samkit can go on
forever. Sadi ananta ananta. Sa adi means it starts now and it remains forever. Remember, as I told you, this is the Karan-anuyog, and Karan-anuyog is extremely microscopic, and it really needs attentiveness to understand the the Karan-anuyog. And so the questions that you are raising, it's perfectly clear, perfectly okay, perfectly right, because this is very precise thing. And we have to understand. That's why we taught same thing last week, but we just kept continuing this one because it needs a little bit more understanding. But in general, what we have to do is, right now, our aim is to 7 stanza. And so, this relationship we are just diverting so that our the understanding of the stanza becomes stronger, you know. And we will continue further on the same thing again. Don't worry about it. And I think more question will come, and write down the question and we'll just go through it, or I will just recite again same thing to make sure that we understand this kind of thing very well. Because it's like Pandora's box we are opening. Suddenly, new chapter, new thing, Samyak Darshan. So, you know, I can tell you, even to understand the word kshayopsham, it will take at least 2 or 3 classes, just word kshayopsham alone. It will take 2 or 3 classes practically, you know, because it is very detailed and very methodical, and we have to understand that part, you know. Time's up. Any questions so far? And we'll continue this discussion. Don't worry. The idea is don't get frustration. Because you understand, I don't understand. This is confusing to me. When that question comes in your mind that I'm getting confused, that means you're on the right track.
Well, no, Kirit, I think that we've done this for a few times now, so I think that we have a decent handle on it. Any specific questions like the ones we asked today, I think we'll bring to you. But the general idea, I won't try to speak for everybody, but I can say that most of us have a general grasp of this.
But it's good to know this kind of things, and because, you know, suddenly we are opening the new chapters, that Kshaik Samkit, Khopsam Samkit, and Upsam. Don't worry about that part, because that's the whole idea, is to have feel for the subject, that where am I on this whole hierarchy, you know. So I won't worry about it. You are right. Okay, any more questions so far?
Kirit uncle, I think you're going to be sending this video link.
Yes, I'm going to send it out tonight. Okay.
Right. Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks. And I'm going to send out the slides also, because I keep on improving them, because I want to make it easier. And so I keep on, but they are almost perfect, right? Almost the way I want to have it. So I'll send it out. Okay. All right. Let's do the closing. Javani ke gyan se suje lokalok, sovani mastaka namo sada deta hu dok. Now, 9 times no come through. Oriental.
Judging.
Yeah.